And last week, a new group, Moms for Liberty, which backs parental rights, held its national convention in Tampa and heard from many prominent Republican politicians, including former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, Governor Ron DeSantis, and his wife, Casey.
Somebody was talking about it being political. It's not about political, it's about principle.
To make sure these school districts couldn't force mask the kids for 8 hours a day. We also have enacted this year curriculum transparency legislation.
Well, one of the attendees at the Moms for Liberty event in Tampa was Alexis Spiegelman. She's the Florida legislative chair for the group, as well as being the chair of the Sarasota County chapter, and she joins us now. And Alexis, welcome to Florida this week.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, what do you think the biggest accomplishment of the convention was that you held in Tampa this past week?
Well, I do believe it's just gathering together with all of the people involved in this fight for parental rights and education. And I think just gathering everybody together and equipping them with the skills that they'll need to move the ball forward as we continue our fight to call for accountability from those that we elect to office to improve our academic achievement in our schools, what we pay our taxes for, and to have our school boards realize that their role ends where the parental right role begins. And so I think that overall everyone left encouraged, inspired, and ready to take the next step in this worthy cause.
What do you think the biggest roadblocks have been to parental rights? Are you saying that right now parents don't have any rights in public schools?
That's not what I'm saying. Our rights are God-given and they're inherent. So nobody gives us our rights. We're born with them. Our country was established on that principle. The problem is our school boards aren't respecting our rights, and so that is where the problem lies. So one of our missions is to defend those rights and to make sure that our government understands where their role ends and where ours begins.
What's the biggest transgression you think the government has made towards parental rights?
Well, I do believe we saw evidence of it with the forced masking. You know, that's a medical decision. It belongs to the parent. Some of what we're seeing with the mental health push that's going on in our schools, of course, mental health is important, but like so often with those on the far left, they take something good and they use it for ill motives. So, for example, we have several members within Moms for Liberty whose children were taken and talked to in private about changing their gender. We've seen what happens when that occurs. It divides families. There was one child who tried to commit suicide twice after the school met privately with them to encourage them to change their gender without their parents' knowledge. And then the school actually didn't tell the parents about it until after the second suicide attempt. So, you know, that is the outcome of what happens when people try to interfere with and step into a role where they just don't belong. You know, that's a parental role to raise children according to the family values and to direct their upbringing and their educational choices and their medical decisions. So it's really just common sense.
In which schools did this attempted suicide and this discussion about gender change, at which school did this take place?
Well, if you look at the signing of HB 1557, parental rights in education, one of the speakers, January Littlejohn, she's one of our members. She was actually also a speaker at our summit. Her daughter was affected by this, and then the school, I believe it might have been Clay County, but if you just Google child tries to commit suicide after school meets with her privately, to convince her to change her gender, I think it will be easy for your viewers to find.
All right. And we only have a minute left, but one last question. Is your group political? Because several people have said your group is not political, yet Christian Ziegler, who's married to a school board member there in Sarasota, says that you're going to help the ground game for Governor Ron DeSantis. And you did invite a lot of Republicans to the convention last week, but you say your group is non-political. It seems very political.
Well, I think that when you make American principles a political issue, okay, then sure. But we are non-political, and the reason we align with many that just so happen to be on the right, if they were Democrats and they were supporting our Constitution, our individual liberties, our God-given rights, then we would be happy to support them. You know, the reason that it seems that we are so in step with, for example, our governor, is our governor understands our constitutional rights and he advocates for them. So we just align on principles.
All right, Alexis Spiegelman, thanks a lot for coming on Florida This Week.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.